stories at the Sawa. ANC members urged to be militant and a 40 million rand boost for football development. Good morning. With the news at 9 o'clock, I'm Lulu Gabu. Public Enterprise Minister and ANC NEC member Malusi Gigaba has urged party members to be militant. He was addressing the 5th Sarah Baartman Regional Elective Congress underway at Port Alfred in the Eastern Cape. Gigaba says the ruling party won't tolerate ill discipline among its members.
It is impossible to be an ANC member without being militant. Every ANC member is of necessity a militant and agent for change. But for militancy to have direction and be a sharp weapon for revolutionary change, it must have content and be coupled with discipline. This is the lesson that the youth of the ANC in particular must learn and adhere to. This conference must contribute towards solving the problems of our movement and our country.
Amnesty International has hailed yesterday's landmark Constitutional Court ruling, which confirms that South Africa cannot deport people who are at risk of the death penalty. The court has ruled that Jerry Pale, a Botswana national wanted for murder in his own country, cannot be deported or extradited to Botswana unless that country gives the assurance that he will not be sentenced to death. Amnesty International's Deputy Director for Africa, Noel Kututwa, says the court should be commended for its continued principled stance on the death penalty. Handing down judgment, Justice Edwin Cameron made it clear that Pale is free to remain in South Africa.
The judgment holds that Mr. Pale has the right to dignity, the right to life, and the right not to be treated or punished in a cruel, inhuman, or degrading way. The state is obliged to respect, protect, and fulfill these rights, and will be acting in breach of the rights if it surrenders Mr. Pale to Botswana without the assurance.
ABSA has been retrenching employees since last year, despite a number of denials from the banking group over the last few months. CEO Maria Ramos made the admission yesterday as ABSA announced an 8.6% decline in its profits.
There have been some retrenchments, but we have kept the retrenchments as low as possible. We did that last year, we've done that this year. It's also important just to make the point that we have done the restructuring that we wanted to do. So that's behind us now, and I think going forward, it's about building our business. What we've seen now in terms of the impairments doesn't change what we have done on restructuring, doesn't impact people.
2010 FIFA World Cup Legacy Trust General Manager Greg Fredericks says they will allocate 40 million rand to football development at local associations countrywide. Fredericks said this in Polokwane, Limpopo, where the leadership of the trust held a workshop with football associations in the province. Fredericks says the trust has 450 million rand, part of which will be invested.
2010 FIFA World Cup Legacy Trust has been endowed with 450 million rand that must be used for football development across the country. And we have opened up applications on the 1st of June. It closed over the end of August for all the football structures and structures youth football for youth development to apply. We're going to hand out 40 million rand this year across the country.
And finally, further afield, South Africans will be involved in 8 different sporting codes at the Olympics in England today. In the women's soccer, Banyana face Canada in a Group F match this afternoon, hoping to improve on the opening defeat to a strong Swedish side. The only sport in which a medal is up for grabs is swimming. Janet Witten reports.
First up today at 22:11 is the women's rowing pair of Nadine Smith and Leanne Peirce. At the same venue at Eton Dornay, the men's lightweight 4 will compete at midday. Alex Peternel will be doing the dressage part of his eventing program at the same time that Daryl Impey competes in the men's road race at 11. Half an hour later, swimming medal hopeful Chad Leclerc and Rian Skuman take part in the individual medley heats, hoping to make it through to the evening's final. In the afternoon, both the men's and women's badminton teams are in group matches, and later in the evening, boxer Ayabonga Sonjika has a tough first-round bout of the bantamweight division, and the men's beach volleyball duo take on the United States.
Recapping the top story, Public Enterprise Minister and ANC NEC member Malusi Gigaba has urged party members to be militant.